Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah Leanne. What a fine day.
We're laughing because it has not been a fine day in my world, but we're going to get into that when we start talking about this beautiful Gene Key 8.
Yes. So we're talking about gene keys, and this was a book written by Richard Rudd, and today we are talking about Gene Key 8, which is the diamond of the self. And there's three states of consciousness within each of the gene keys, and the shadow or the more human self in this consciousness is about mediocrity. And the gift that comes out of mediocrity is style. And the acidic state is exquisiteness. So, Deborah, would you like
Yeah.
to?
I think I want to add in here. So this particular Gene Key and I have been dancing together for a lot of my life. And mediocrity is actually what I wanted to be for so many years. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like everybody out there. Why was I the only one that had divorced parents when I was a kid? I'm a lot older than a lot of y'all. So and I went to a Catholic school. So having divorced parents was so not cool. And I was the only one I knew that had all kinds of craziness in my family. I'm the only one I knew. And I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like, oh, and I wore glasses for God's sakes when I was 6 years old. So I was always this oddball and trying so hard to be, I had the uniqueness going on, but I mean,
You wanted to fit in.
I wanted to be like everybody else.
Right.
And and I find it fascinating because and I'm a big fan of uniforms in schools for a lot of reasons, but look at how that makes you not stand out.
Yeah.
And I wore a uniform every day to school, a uniform for Girl Scouts, I mean, it's like from all my jobs, all through high school. And I, I don't know why. And in the corporate world, I was even told by a VP one time, he said, you just need to try to play the corporate game. And I'm like, I don't want to play the game. And he's like, then maybe this isn't for you. He said, he said, you're brilliant and you have a lot going for you, but to play the game here, you need to, you know, walk the talk, do the thing, fit in. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ew. So anyway, that's my rant on mediocrity. And I am a big fan for how do we break that? How do we break that recognition that actually each of us has our own way of our intelligence is different, the way we see the world is different, and we all have a unique beauty and a unique light. Okay, I'm done. You can go.
No, that's so good. I mean, I think we've spoken about this in one of the other gene keys, and that I know for me, I wanted to conform. I wanted to just fit in and be a part of a group, and you know, I didn't want to be the oddball either. So this is and believe me, I'm pretty weird. But let's
Well, I
all
wasn't
hang
going to
out.
say anything, but yeah.
Yeah, let's all hang out in the weirdness together. So but it's about the fear or the case the fear of being different, or even the fear of success. This
Oh,
key is, you just kind of fall in line, and it's a ho-hum existence. You don't break out of your own shell, um and figure out what might even be better.
oh, and that's so terrifying. And I think the way our schools and Richard talks about this quite a bit. The way our schools are set up, they do want all the children to learn the same way, to learn the same material at the same time. And that's why, the more Montessori or the Waldorf schools are the
Right.
places where you get to go and kind of follow what that child's interests are. Wow. Oh, but that's hard
Yeah.
for teachers. And
Well,
to do.
It's very taxing for a teacher because then they have to know all the various different styles. I know for me, like taking tests was not my thing. Like I could not do memorization at all. I'm an experiential learner, so it was much harder to fit in because I actually had to, when I grasp something, I have to play with it for a while and then like test it out,
Yeah. No,
kick
yeah.
the tires.
And
And
I,
so
yeah, and that's so when you did that, how did you learn, or how long did it take you to find your way of learning?
it wasn't until like middle school where I realized because I found teachers who were experiential, and so they really it lit me up. I wasn't like having to read a ton of stuff. And that's the other thing. Like, not all of us are meant to do like similar things. I mean, people are really good with their hands. Why don't we value that? I mean, there's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could go on a whole rant about that, but um being able to find the leaders or the teachers that embraced all aspects and brought out our brilliance, that's the key. Not trying to, I mean, when I was in this when I worked with schools, I wanted people to find their own curiosity and like go in those directions. And, here I was helping the teachers cover topics that would be on the test. It was just like,
Yeah,
I want,
the state
right.
testing required they have certain parts to their science exam, and everybody had to take the same thing, and the school then got graded on how the students did. I mean, it's a
I
system that's
it's
just,
not a, it's not a good system.
and
I
it
think
keeps us
it's,
in mediocrity.
yes. And we want creative geniuses, everybody's creative genius to share. So when we look at this particular key and we look at the repressive nature, it's called wooden because there's no, they just are hollow.
Oh,
There's
that they
like a,
don't have their own. So, okay. So to me, that would be like mechanical or,
it's just devoid of any kind of life force because you just are there.
yeah.
And they don't live lives or allow themselves to create from a heart-centered space. It's hollow.
Yeah, I think what I liked, the word that comes to mind is I think Richard used was maintenance.
Mm,
Like they just kind of
yeah,
maintain status quo, keep
right.
things as they are.
They gave up on their dreams somewhere between growing up as a child and through adulthood. They just kind of, yeah,
Or they were told that, that's not for you. So you're
right.
like,
And then the opposite town is artificial. So folks that are in that reactive nature, they create this illusion of this artificial life of
that's
being
me. Yeah.
being
Yeah.
being unique.
Trying so hard to fit in, to be the corporate mold or the Girl Scout mold or the Catholic girls school mold. I mean, it was so many molds. And I was constantly like, ew, ew. So, but I pretended the best I could because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked.
Mm. Well, he says the reactive side cannot stay in their relationships because the facade eventually breaks down and rage rises to the surface, at which point they usually run away. So it's it's kind of
Again, me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
so yeah. So it's interesting to play in mediocrity and also the simplicity of it. Now, when I think about this in the programming partner is the 14th city or the 14th gene key. So the shadow is compromise.
Mm,
So when you think of mediocrity and compromise, you're like, those things go hand in hand.
yeah.
But when you think about the gift of it, there's style and competence. So you start understanding your own uniqueness,
Yeah.
and you
And
can
then that
be
works for you, actually become competent in being you, you know?
exactly,
Um,
exactly. You're remembering who you are. Yeah.
yeah. And that is a little scary. And I think for a long time, I went through all of the what is my purpose? Who am I? Why am I here? Kind of seeking for decades. And then finally, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm already here. But I kept thinking, because I didn't fit into, and I was like, how do they know what they want to be? And they even wrote a book on how people can be what they want to be. And I'm just like, ugh.
I know. I had the same kind of feelings. I'm like, how come everybody knows what the hell they're doing?
Yeah,
They all kind
I
of
know
like
they
have it
got the
figured out.
manual and I didn't. So, and then that makes me unique. And then I'm like, oh no, now I'm even more unique. Oh, so then it was like there was uh trying not to be
Mm,
unique
mm,
form of, I guess that would be the reactive for me, the reactive form of mediocrity. So
mm.
style, to me, that's
Style.
a funny word,
Yeah.
because I think, and you were talking about it earlier, Suzanne, when you said something about learning styles. We do have different ways of
Mm,
learning. We do have different ways of, there's certain clothes that fit certain people just fine, and there's others that don't, and colors, and finding that. So I always think of style as being more outward
mm.
versus, oh, this is my style of me being me. This is my
Right.
style of how I want to live. This is my style of eating and cooking and friendship. And so I'm learning that it is not just, and it's so funny to have two daughters, and one's such a fashionista and the other one could be very happy living in her swimming suit out on the beach playing volleyball. She doesn't care. And
Right.
no makeup, you know what I mean?
Right.
So where I want to play with this is like, what does that stop? How do we tap into what feels like, oh, this is me. This is my style.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and I think everybody in their own time, like, kind of plays with it. It's kind of like we get to choose our own adventure. So I challenge people who go, oh, I could never do that. I could never do that. Be careful what you say as far as NEVER, because it usually comes at you going, hey, why don't you try it?
Well, and this morning with the technical difficulties we had getting online together, and long story short, and I was just annoyed. And you were like, we need to clean up this energy. And I'm like, you can clean up yours, but I'm gonna, and I just was like, so this is my style of working through it. And then it diffuses. But
Yeah.
to I have to like feel all of it, this huge tidal wave of messiness. And I guess that's my unique way of going,
Well,
oh,
it's also your design. Whereas mine, I'm a screen, not a sponge. So I don't need to take on everybody else's.
no, and I don't want you to. That's your job. Your job is to be my salt lamp and to
That's right.
and love me in my messiness, which is,
No.
I think, one of the things that I have learned is one of my styles is that
Mm,
I do test, like, how messy, how angry, how ugly, how far can I push you before before I make you go away?
mm.
Or can you see
And
me in all of that? So I
right.
I just wanted to say thank you for that, because you
You're
love
welcome.
all my nastiness. So how else do we want to describe style to drop into what that feels like for everyone?
I will say that when you explore your own style, it is a leap of faith because you don't know exactly where it might take you. And so because there's some fear there, like, oh, I'm going to put myself, and we're ever evolving and ever changing, and especially when people know you a certain way. This is the thing that's very interesting. I won't say that it's a chameleon, but like, you're trying on different clothes, you're trying on different suits, you're trying on different personas, you're trying, you're all of it. We're very multidimensional beings. So, and we're in this playground. So why not, you know, I've had hair that was like super short and like straight up. And I've had like, like think about even your styles when you were in high school. I
Oh,
know that we kind of mimic other people. We had big hair. I mean, a perm, really? Like, okay, all right, well, I tried it out, like something.
well, and we're still doing that. And except for I think as we get older and we're not kind of as in the peer pressure thing as we
Right.
used to be, we're not as sociocentric as then. We're in the place now of taking things off. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if I take this off, what's going to show? Oh my gosh, I'm more vulnerable if I do
I'm
this.
I'm
If
more naked. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is kind of a removal of uh I had a really cool teacher one time, coach, tell me that she said what came to mind for her was for me to do the dance of the seven veils. And I was
Mm.
like, what? So she said, look it up and find seven scarves or pieces of material and actually go through this dance of releasing each of those things. You can label each thing or you can just energetically feel it or so
Huh.
it was fascinating, but what it did is it allowed me to feel like I was shedding
Mm.
literally old stories, old ways of being, old patterns that's not me anymore. And why did I decide I needed to wear that green? It doesn't even look good on me.
Uh,
So anyway, it's I if I can find I have a video I did one time just for being fun and she put it at the end of my promotional video, my very professional one. She has me acting this thing out
mm,
and I take all these things off. Anyway, so I'll see if I can find that. But
well, I do want to say this from what Richard says about this particular key. When anybody really embodies their own style, you are enabling a lot more free thinkers.
oh, it's like making a playground for more people to join you. Is that
Yeah.
what it's like? Is it inviting? Does it
Yeah.
feel invitational when we are in our weird, unique style?
Yeah. It says, unfortunately, free thinkers who find their own sense of style are not really concerned with fitting in, and says their only concern is to free more free thinkers.
Aha. Which is why I think, again, having a community of
Yeah.
weirdos, as some people would call us, but free thinking, I like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
style.
So
Yeah.
style, right.
So,
Now,
yeah, let's talk about where we.
where we're going into exquisiteness, and he calls this the eternal love knot. And that's when all systems break. He says all systems break down under this wild, ebullient energy that comes straight from source of creation.
Very feminine, he said.
Mm-hmm.
And between this gene key and the two, which we just did a few weeks ago, Unity, they're
Mm-hmm.
very, oh, I loved it. What did he call them? They're the feminine archetypes of the gene keys
Yeah.
because it is about flow.
Yeah.
And he said even though he pictures a diamond when he speaks about exquisite, which by the way, I want to add, has a lot of different facets to it. Um, but it's not brittle and hard like that. It's got
Yeah.
flow. So just like water can look so different depending on which way the wind's blowing and the waves are up or the storm's going or what color of the water is. It's got a different view. It looks different every day, but it's always moving.
Well, I appreciate you said this because this is in the ring of water.
Ah, of course.
Yes. So even think about the shimmering,
The
lights on.
sparkling, I love that. The sun on the water. Mhm.
So it's he writes, you shine like a diamond in the heart of creation, and wherever you look, you see other diamonds in various states of clarity, each one unique, and each one exquisite and incomparable. When you actually recognize and you own your own authority and your own style of who you are, that's when you can see the brilliance
Oh,
of everybody who's out there shining their lights.
yeah.
Yeah. Exquisite. What?
So so exquisiteness has a it has this ethereal beauty to it to me. You know, I always think of something being exquisite where it's almost heart achingly gorgeous, you know, whether it's music or art or um I don't very often think of it as a person, but
It's wildness.
oh, because it's got an alive,
Right. And
like it
so,
can't be contained.
and you just think of nature as it it doesn't have to work. It's not working hard. Do you think of the sun as it's rising? It's exquisite, right? But it's what it does. It's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It
The
just
shimmering on the water,
mhm.
exquisite.
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't have to like do anything. It just is. It's wild. It's does its own thing. It's I this is where I oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. I felt like a lot of my life had to be scripted. Like I just wanted to get things right. And out of like studying this work, I have allowed myself to just be whatever and know that all of this is unscripted. We're just getting to allow ourselves to just be everything that we are.
I like that. And it makes there's a spaciousness
Oh,
in
it's so
my word
spacious.
the last 4 months or so.
Mhm.
But spaciousness, exquisiteness just takes space. It
Yeah.
just is, you know, versus that the tightness of the mediocrity. You have to fit
And
into this little
and
square
this
peg roll.
and this acidic state to this gene key is exquisiteness, and the programming partner is bounteousness.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it to me feels
bounteous and
spacious and
spacious.
huge. And
Yeah,
so let's see, if we do it this way, it'd be
do
so
it.
yeah, I was gonna try to do the mudra.
Okay.
So exquisiteness is you take your right hand and you make the mudra with your thumb and forefinger touching, and your palm is open, and your left is on your belly. So this is like the allness, and this is the
Remembering.
yeah, holding it in our
Oh, I like it. Oh, that's so good. This is the connection.
yeah,
And then your belly, you're grounded in there. So it's your style.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is mine. Yeah, this is me inside, or
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So anyway, just had to throw that in there.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, I just want to talk about my style a little bit because I'm so exquisite today in my little t-shirt. Um,
And I actually picked an oracle deck that matches your shirt.
oh, well, there you go.
Is
So
there
yeah, I don't know. Let's pick from the bottom of the deck because this is feminine, right?
bottom?
Down, back, in. Mm.
Wow, what's that about? Okay, well, this is talking about the weight of the world
Ah,
and boundaries.
that's what my
And
conversation was before we started this morning. Though that was my conversation with my partner.
oh,
It's
maybe that's
amazing how everything's woven together.
I know. Okay, weight of the world, boundaries. Folks, let it go. It's not yours to carry. You don't need to carry it all. No, you're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being. So put on your own oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. However, you can't take on its problems from a place of energetic depletion.
No,
Come on. So it's really important. So really, this is thanking you for caring so much, but really, let's get clear. What are you carrying that is not yours, my friends? Remember your own style,
no
right?
good.
Your
Yep.
own exquisiteness. What, don't carry somebody else's stuff. Come on, peoples.
Oh, and it is so programmed in us very often to push against another's or to absorb it. Very often it's not a very clear, oh, that's you, this is me. And that was our conversation this morning. I mean,
Mm,
I will go into it another time, probably in presence. I'll do an exercise where it was a learning of when are we projecting and when are we taking on the projection and where are we losing ourselves in the process.
mm,
And it's a fascinating thing to look at. So the other thing that just came to mind is I had pulled out one of my oils that was a rise, which of course was perfect. And the other two are anchor, of course, you ground, and then you
mm.
align, get everything all, and then you can arise. So that's the exquisite.
Nice. And my oil pulls for today in my diffuser was spearmint and lemongrass.
So beautiful.
And so that all is connected to the thyroid. And so it's your
So this is thyroid. This
thyroid. Yeah, it's your expression. It's where Adam's apple is. So it's this center is where your expression is. And whether it's with your hands or with your voice, it's you, your exquisiteness, your style, how you choose to show up. So
perfect.
loves.
Much love, everyone. Take excellent care, and we'll see you next time.